The question is going to be, who's going to implement this stuff? Okay, these are the 5 fastest ways to double your real estate business. Now, I know in marketing messages, guys, there's a ton of hyperbole. What do I mean? People over-exaggerating stuff, okay? When I say double, I mean double, okay? Guys, I tripled my business in 24 months using the strategies that I'm showing you here tonight. I went from 140 to 500. Okay. How many of you would like to triple your business in the next 24 months? You can do it. Okay. Living in South Florida, 140 doesn't go real far. 500 is a whole lot nicer. Okay. So type 500 if you want to get that. That's like your next goal, right? Maybe some of you guys have already hit it. Awesome. Then if it's at 500 already, want to triple that. All right. Now we're talking. All right, guys. So here's what we want to do. Number one. Okay. And I'm sure none of you want to do this. I'm sure if you guys are on here dedicating your time to learning more about your business, it's not a question of you like not already trying to max out. In fact, you're probably here. And tell me if I'm right, guys. Type a 1 in the chat if this rings true. Type a 1 in the chat if you are already doing everything in your power you know how to, but you realize like there's just got to be some slight subtle changes. Like you feel like you got some of the pieces, but it's just, they're not all interconnecting right because you're probably not hitting your earnings potential just yet. Ekaterina's with me, Christopher's with me. Who else is with me? Are those the only 2 people that are answering? There we go. Okay. Because that's what it comes down to, guys. You can work harder for sure. You know, you want double the money, work double the hours. Great. You'll probably be a terrible husband, wife, you know, father, son, daughter, whatever. Okay. Because like, you know, you probably don't have enough time in your schedule to work double the hours. So guys, type smarter if you guys would rather work smarter than harder. Okay, type that hashtag smarter in the chat here. I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right audience. Jim's with me. Jim was the first one on that. Jimmy's with me also. Love it. Okay, now we're talking, guys, because that's what it comes down to. Okay, we are not here to tell you to work. You know, like I love Gary Vee, but like sometimes he's just like work until your fingers bleed. You know, forget the fact that you have to eat. Like, guys, no. Like, hustle culture is great, and I am admittedly an workaholic. But at the same time, you need to know when to have balance with your family, work with your life, all these things. It's very, very important. Okay, you know, so you don't want to go down the path of workaholism because it does not, and I mean does not equal more output. Sometimes you gain better insights by stepping back and doing things a little bit better. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Type a 1 in the chat. Okay, cool. Because what we're going to go into is this, guys. Okay, you want to double your dials. Without a doubt, okay, most of you, I will bet 99% of the people on here, okay, are not doing, maybe not, I bet 90% of the people on here are not doing 50 dials a day. Okay, in fact, guys, humor me. How many dials do you do on a daily basis, 5 days a week? Not what you do 1 time a week, not what you do 2 days a week, on a 5 days a week. How many, or in fact, just tell me how many dials you do on a weekly basis. Type that in the chat. I'm very, very interested because this is important, and I'll tell you why, okay? You cannot brush your teeth 14 times on Sunday. Think about that, right? You cannot, you know you're supposed to brush your teeth twice a day, but you can't just make up for it all in one day. That's not how it works. This business is built off consistency of contacting the right people, write this down, with the right message and at the right time. Okay. Jim, brave, 10 to 15 a day, 3 days a week. Okay. That's fair. Okay. Who else? Type in your weekly inputs. Come on. Don't be shy, guys. 40 a week. Okay. There we go, Janet. There we go. Okay. How about Yay? How about Chanika? How about Raj? How about Josh? Olga, Latasha, come on, guys, come on. This is like the what do they call it? The circle of trust here. Okay, Josh says very few. Okay, good. Guys, it's okay to be honest. You know why? Because today's day 1. I don't care where you are day 1. I care where you are at 366 days from now. That's what's most important. Okay. Who else? Come on, Emrich, Ali, Joya, Robert. Come on, need to step it up. Okay, good. Look at it, guys. Wherever your business is now, okay, if you're only doing, let's say, 10 dials a day, all right, if you just went from 10 to 20, you're going to double your income. All right, does that make sense, guys? Can you see that? Right? If you're just double your amount of prospecting activity, you just double it, you're going to double your income. Okay, very, very important. So the first step rather than dialing for 30 minutes a day, another 30 minutes a day will get you to double your income. It's very, very simple. Okay. Now, is that making sense, guys? Like, the type of one in the chat. If this is like, oh yeah, I just double, because think about it. Double the dials means double the appointments or contacts, means double the relationships built, means double the listings, means double the amount of money in your pocket. Okay. It's super simple, guys. This game is simple. It's just not easy. It is not easy when this thing on a Monday morning feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. I've been there, guys. I've sat there on the couch waiting for my coffee to kick in because I just didn't feel like picking up the phone. But you know what separates the average agent making $60 or $70 or $80,000 a year from the agent that makes $500,000 or more a year? They pick it up even if they don't feel like it. Type an exclamation point if you're with me, guys. Does that make sense? Okay. Right? I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the bravest guy. I'm not the hardest working guy, but I'll tell you what, I do the thing I don't like to, even when I know I don't have to. I know I don't want to. Okay. Josh is with me. Janet's with me. Okay. All right. And I invite you guys to do the same. Even when it's like one of those things, it's just like, I don't feel like flossing my teeth today, but I don't want my teeth to fall out of my head. So I'm going to do it anyhow. Okay. I don't like to necessarily do all the things, but it's not a question if you like it. Nobody asked if you liked it. You just have to do it. You got to eat your vegetables, you know? Okay. Next up, guys, double your connects. Now this is, believe it or not, this is one of the easier things to do. If you are doing the right research, and I don't mean just using the, free tools that your real estate company has. I don't mean just using the like Google, you know, go out and learn how to get, go learn, find a place that has good quality data. Why? You get through to double the amount of people, you're going to get double the meetings, double the listings, make double the money. You with me, guys? Does this make sense? Okay. Type a 2 in the chat if you're with me. Like, oh yeah, if I just connect with more people, if I connect with double the amount of people, I don't even have to double my dials. But if the data that I was using was twice as good, does it stand to reason you're going to get through to twice more people, get twice more meetings, twice more listings, and have twice much more money in your pocket? Yeah. Okay, guys. All right. This business, again, it's simple. It's not easy, but all 5 things I'm going to show you today are 5 simple ways. And the hardest one is doing double the dials, right? When I say double the dials, it means that, you got to do it every single day. Cumulatively, it's more difficult because it takes more effort. But once you find a good source of leads, shoot, you find a good place to a good quality place to get your people research from, and you start researching on a regular basis, not just when you need a phone number. Maybe you set aside a Saturday afternoon and you do your research so that when Monday morning comes, you've got 50 people you can dial. That makes sense, guys? Okay. Holla if you hear me. Okay. Next up. Dun, dun, dun. Double your appointments. Can anybody take a guess at what it will take to double your appointments? All right. The thing I like to do, I use this metaphor because everybody remember these from high school, right? 24 to the right, 13 to the left, 36 to the right. It pops open, right? Why? Because I'm putting 3 important pieces of data in the right order, and I'm getting an intended result, okay? Those 3 pieces of data are, write this in the chat, guys, right person, right message at the right time. Any one of those is missing, just like this lock, any one of those 3 numbers is missing, what happens? Doesn't open, right? So you need to be reaching out with the right message to the right person at the right time. Very, very, very important. Okay. You can reach out to the wrong person all day with the right message at the right time, and you're never going to get $1 from it. Okay. Katarina's with me. Right person, right message at the right time. Exactly, folks. Okay. Very, very important to understand. Now, finally, sliding in at number 5, but way no less important than any of the rest, double your listings. What does that mean? You get a solid listing presentation and you execute it properly. You need to know the right questions to ask to reveal motivation. Number 1, because guess what? Write this, guys, down. Price motivated is not motivated. If someone tells you, oh yeah, go out and just get me this property, give me a $2 million for my property and I'm going to sell it. Guess what? You're going to deliver a $2 million offer. And guess what? They're going to say, oh, wow, that was pretty easy. Maybe I can get $1.1 million or 2.1 or 2.2 or whatever, right? The most important thing to understand is, guys, you need to find motivation. So you need to know the right questions to bring about the right motivated folks. Number two, you need to make the right statements. You need to make statements so that they know that you know what you're talking about. Make sense? And number three, and most importantly, is you need to deliver and show them the right data, because whatever's coming out of your mouth to them is commission breath. You are a broker or agent trying to get a listing. You're trying to get money out of their pocket and into yours, okay? But the market research shows, our analysis indicates, right? This is third-party data. Have you ever asked anyone a question and they point to a sign? It's like the sign is somehow some authority. Guess what? That works, guys. That's how the human brain works. So what you do is you say, listen, brokers might come in here and tell you stories, but the numbers will never lie to you. And this is what my research shows us in your market. And you go through the analysis, okay? Very, very important. So the way to double your listings is to be giving the right message to the right person at the right time, and be asking the right questions, delivering the right statements, and bringing the right data. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if that's an insight. Type a 1 in the chat if you guys are like, oh, this is making sense, okay? Again, this is simple. It's not easy. Simple, it's not easy, because all you need to do is any one of those 5 things, okay? So if you guys are digging what we're talking about, tag hashtag double, right? If you're liking this, right? You maybe, just maybe, like to learn a little bit more about how we do this, because that's what, right? How is a whole different other thing, okay? The knowledge is one part of it. The skills are another, okay? So just type hashtag if this is making sense, if this is hitting home and you're like, yeah, this is something I need to learn, okay? But wait, we're going to go a bit further, okay? Because like I said, the how behind what we do is very, very simple. What we do is number one, we teach you how to prospect. Most people, when they come to me, right, they say, oh, I just need, if I can get somebody on the phone, if I can get someone willing to do business with me, I can figure out kind of like how to get it across the line. I can figure out how to get a listing sold and so forth. In fact, raise your hands, guys. For those of you who got your cameras on, Doug and Rush Pete and James and everybody, raise your hands if that makes sense. Okay. If you're like, yeah, if I just knew how to, if I could just get the people, just get in front of them, I'd figure out a way. If I could just get that listing sign. Yeah. Okay. 80+% of people feel that way. Okay. So that's why it's the number one thing we teach. It's a very first things always come first. Okay. You got to put it on your shoes before you run a race. Next thing we teach you is what to say, how to say it. Okay. And to whom to say it. The most important thing, right? Because remember I said, right message, right person, right time. Very important. The next thing is we show you how to get meetings. We show you what you need to be doing in 90 seconds or less. You can be booking commercial meetings. You do not need to get on the phone and talk about the market and talk about the weather and talking about, the Braves or the Yankees or the Dodgers or whatever, right? That stuff does not get you business. You call someone up that has a problem, you show them how you can help them solve it, and you agree upon a time and a place to meet. It's literally that simple, guys. Okay. And then we show you how to get listings, how to prepare for the meeting, what to say in the meeting, like I mentioned, right? The questions to ask, the statements to make, and the data to bring. And then finally, we show you how to get both sides of the commission. How many of you guys type 2X in the chat? Because where most brokers fall flat is they get a listing and they put it up there and they do like a rain dance, hoping that they're actually going to get it sold. Well, guess what, folks? That doesn't work. Who, other than the owner of the property, who is more incentivized than you to get your listing sold? I'll wait. Go ahead. Type in the chat. Who's more incentivized than you to get your listing sold? You, who is spending your time, spending your marketing dollars, right? Who is more incentivized? Anybody want to take a guess? Take a guess, right? Exactly. Yeah, good call, Katerina. Other than the owner, you are the most incentivized person on the planet. So doesn't it stand to reason that maybe you should put in maybe 20% more work and try to get both sides of the deal? So wouldn't that be pretty sweet? 20% more work for 2 times, for 200% of the commission, right? That's what we're talking about, guys. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. And I promised you that I would give you a bonus for you lovely people that have your cameras on. And for those of you that gave me the hearts and the likes in Facebook, because that makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Okay. The bonus way to double your income is have someone show you how. You can try to bake a cake and like try to throw in some ingredients and then bake it, and spend your time and then eat it. And then it tastes gross. And then you try it with different ingredients, and you can do that. Or you could go to Betty Crocker and ask her for her recipe. Or better yet, get like the pre-made brownie batch, and you just crack an egg in there and put that bad boy in the microwave. You with me, folks? You get to shortcut your learning curve by following the advice that someone that's already does it, someone that's already done it, someone that has done it and shown other people how to do it in over 30 states. Does that make sense, folks? Type a 1 in the chat if you're with me, okay? Because that's what we'll do. What we show you, okay, this is our process. You've probably seen me pop this up before. This is our 9-step process. We can show you step by step by step how this process works to go from getting ready to get started. You have no idea who to call, what to say, all the way through to taking listings and learning how to double in the listings. If you guys are interested in that, okay, very, very important, right? Go ahead and type a 1 in the chat for me, okay? Because I'm doing a presentation tomorrow. I'm doing a presentation that explains each step of the way. One of our students who has been in the program, he just hit a year just a couple weeks ago. He came in and 90 days in, he cashed a $42,000 check. I'm going to show exactly how he navigated our process, and most importantly, what it takes for you to do the same. Okay. So if you guys want to sign up for that, okay, it's tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern. All right. Go ahead. And here's the thing. If you're not serious and you're not planning on going, I just had a conversation with a gentleman earlier, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to try to go. I'm like, no, there's no try to. Okay. We have 12 spots available. Okay. Please, please, please do not sign up for it unless you are 100% planning on going. The reason is, don't deprive somebody else of being there. Okay. Don't take away from someone else's dream and don't show up. Okay. If you're there, if you're serious about it, guys, I'm going to be breaking down how this process works. Okay. The most important thing you can do is go to battle with a plan. The most important thing you can do is follow someone who's already done it before. That is what we do in our program. Okay. So like I mentioned before, folks, it's very, very important to have information, but there's nothing more important without implementation. And implementation is what's going to happen, is the result of you taking the implementation and applying it in the real world. If you guys don't want to have wasted your last 30 minutes with me, okay, take one thing that you did, that you learned tonight, that you want to implement. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Everybody on here, okay? We've got something like 45 folks on one side, about 20 on the other. I want every single person right now, if you don't want to have wasted your time, and type in the chat what you're going to implement. What are you going to implement? Just take one, because if you try to do too much, it's overwhelming. Just one thing per week, okay? Janet's going to do more calls. Josh is going to double his connections. Jimmy's going to do more calls. Love it. Okay, well, who else? Come on. Let's put this in here, guys. Now, I want you to take it and write down on a sticky note. Guys, I use sticky notes and I put them on my monitor. Why? Because I have to stare at it. It stares me in the face all day while I'm at the office. Ricardo's at more calls. Rajpreet's more calls. Love it. Because that's what we're talking about, guys. Forget you will have wasted, like I said, the last 30 minutes if you don't take one thing and implement it. So let's go ahead and get that one thing out. Folks, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. Do me and yourself a favor and implement one thing tonight. And then we're going to talk next week about what you implemented and how it worked for you. We're here to change lives, guys. Just let's see if we're going to change yours. Okay. Only you are in charge of that. Take care now. Have a good night, folks.